Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Anchorage Ice Tigers Draft to Glory franchise mode here in NHL 23. So in last episode, we simulated the entire season, which you guys didn't really get to see. You guys saw some screenshots because for some reason I had some video issues in the last episode, so I apologize about that. But we did make the playoffs with a 44-33-5 record, and we are going to be taking on the Nashville Predators in the first round of the playoffs. Now, what's interesting is we actually had a better record than them in the regular season, but they have home ice advantage because they won their division. So it should be a very close matchup, I'd say, based on the fact both teams almost had the identical records and also identical stats in a couple certain areas. As you can see here, if we go over to the Western Conference standings, you can see that we finished up here at 4th place. They finished in 7th. We are only 2 points above them. Goals for, they only scored one more goal than us during the regular season. They were a bit better of a defensive team, and we were much better on our special teams. So hopefully we could use those special teams to our advantage here in the postseason and get ourselves our first ever playoff series win. That would be pretty awesome, especially considering this is our first ever time in the playoffs. But anyways, before we get into this first round matchup with the Nashville Predators, we do have a couple comments to go over. So the first one is from Rebecca Weiss Woods, which says, "Congrats on making the playoffs. Even if you don't go far, the experience is vital for your young kids," which is true. So obviously we would like to win this series, but at the same time, a lot of these young guys, obviously they've never played in the playoffs before, so they're going to get some experience that they've never had before. So hopefully some of them could come through, even guys on the fourth line. Hopefully they could actually step up, even though that fourth line is still a little bit weak. But yeah, hopefully this team just does really well together in the playoffs and gets at least maybe a couple wins. Not necessarily the series win, but obviously the series win would be really, really nice. Next comment is from Saturn Otaku, who says, "Happy to see my prediction of you making the playoffs this season come to pass. With your strong road record, I think you have a really shot at advancing. Can't wait to see what happens." So yeah, I hope that our road record definitely comes into effect as well in the playoffs, because we had a pretty good road season. As we can look over here, let's go over to our Anchorage Ice Tigers. What was our road record again? Because I don't remember how strong it was. Oh yeah, it was 24-16-1, while we were 20-17-4 on home ice. So yeah, hopefully we could just play really good on the road, considering we are going to be starting off the series in Nashville instead of Anchorage. And then the last comment is from Yo-Yo What's Up 101. He says, "Hey, congrats on making the playoffs. I think this team is young and might make it out of the first round, but it's not great. I can still see it. Really enjoying the series." So yeah, I kind of agree with what you're saying. I think we can make it out of the first round, but I don't know if this team's going to be able to go any further, because a lot of the other teams in the playoffs probably are way built better than Nashville is. Nashville's actually a pretty solid team in a sense, but obviously there is a lot scarier teams. So here is the Nashville Predators, in case you guys forget, as I did have to show you guys in screenshot format. So as you can see, Tolvanen, Misa, and Rantanen, that's a very, very good top line. They also have a good second line here, Tomasino, Marner, and Lepisto. Lepisto is somebody we can't really take for granted, because this guy's actually got good shooting categories. He's a low elite sniper as well, and looks like he's had some pretty good production as of lately. So yeah, we definitely got to make sure we can contain that second line as well. So the top six in general, pretty scary. Their third line's also decent, but it's more of a fourth line, I feel like. Svechnikov, Foudy, and Kamel, but we can't rule them out. Kamel obviously had good potential in the beginning, but it looks like he didn't reach it. And in the fourth line, Melanson, Suzuki, and Athanasiou is pretty decent as well. Defensively, they do got Budaj and Fabro as their top two, which is pretty good. They do have Roman Schmidt, though, on the second pairing with Mikey Anderson, so Schmidt is a bit weak for that second pairing, so hopefully we could take advantage of that. And in their top six pairing has Stanley and Waugh, so hopefully we could take advantage of that, even though that's a pretty solid top six. So I'd say basically we need to contain their top four and their top six in terms of offense and defense, and then we have a chance. Goaltending wise, they do have some solid goaltenders, Ratslav and Dawes, and they also do have Colton Ellis as a depth goaltender, so they do have three goalies they could run if for some reason one gets hurt. And then Laxonen and Waugh are the two depth options as well there for defensemen and for forwards. So anyways, let's get into this first round matchup and see what this team could do. I wonder who's going to score the first ever playoff goal in franchise history. You guys should drop your predictions as you are watching the episode, who you guys think is going to score our first ever playoff goal, because more likely we're going to score a goal. I don't think we're going to get shut out in 4 straight games, but you never know what could happen with this game. So let's see what happens here in Game 1 in Nashville, see if we can get a road win to start it off. Okay, First period of game number 1. Hey, and we have the 1-0 lead. Let's go. And it's Harakala with the first ever goal in the playoffs for our team. And holy crap, the shots. Wow. I don't think I've seen that lopsided of a shot chart after one period. We're kind of lucky, or not lucky, to be up by multiple goals. Nashville's kind of lucky to be in this game even, because we outshot them 22-5 in that opening period. That's unreal. We're on pace for 66 shots in this game. So Harakala with the power play goal. How much power plays do we have in that opening period? Because maybe that's why. Okay, well, looks like we had a hooking major penalty that Nashville took, so we got a long power play because of that, and then there was a delay game penalty, so we only had 2 power plays in that first period, but I don't know what a hooking major is unless he hooked a guy's face or something, but shots are 22-5 after 1. We're up 1-0. Can we add to this lead? Second period? Oh, that's not good. We're badly outshooting them still, and they somehow take the lead. Mikey Anderson scores to tie the game up, and then less than 30 seconds later, less than a minute later, actually, I should say, Mikko Rantanen gives the Predators the lead 2-1. Shots are 34-17, but somehow we're down by a goal. Yeah, their goalie seems to be locked in, which is kind of scary in the sense. So let's see what happens in this third period, see if we could tie this game back up, because we're outshooting them badly. We just need to find a way to get that second goal. Power play, and we do not convert on another power play. And once again, we do not score, and Nashville goes up 3-1. But we answer back with a goal from Zikov, so that's huge. And hey, we score a shorthanded goal from the other Zikov. Okay, Zikovs, I see both of you. That shorthanded goal was from the defender one, though, which is interesting. And we are going to be going to overtime in our first ever playoff game. The shots are 48-26 in favor of us. So that was a crazy turn of events. We were down 3-1. We get a goal right back, and then we get a short-handed goal to get us to overtime. So now the question is there somebody on our team that wants to be the OT hero and give us our first ever win? If there is, that puck will probably, or that player will probably go into this team's Hall of Fame just because it's a historic goal, or at least like his stick and stuff like that would go into our team's Hall of Fame, you know. Let's see who gets to overtime winners. See if we could come back from that 3-1 deficit in the third period to win our first ever playoff game. Come on, boys. Come on. Who wants to be the hero? We have over 50 shots in this game. Power play opportunity. And we don't score again. We've had a lot of power plays in this game, so Nashville might be an undisciplined team, but this might be the most amount of shots I've ever seen a team put up in a sim engine. Penalty kill late into overtime, and we kill it off. Hey, and we win on our 61st shot, and look who it is. Of course, it's our captain, I guess, our first ever pick in franchise history in Jorgensen, and we're going to win 4-3 in a crazy game. We outshot them 61-31, and we win 4-3. In overtime. So there's our first ever playoff win in franchise history, and of course the game-winning goal had to be Jorgensen. So Harakala from Claxon and Festorini. So I guess that's the third/second line, I should say. Zikov from Bickle and Festorini, Zikov from Claxon and Zikov. As we were saying Zikov 2 times. And then Jorgensen from Keith. Let's go. So the team rallies back because of a big short-handed goal to tie the game up. Huge. What was the face-off stats like? 53 apiece. Damn. But yeah, we outshot them 22-5 in that first period, 12-12 in the second, 14-9 in the third, 13-5 in overtime. Wow. Couple players with 2 points, couple players with 1 point. Any badly minus player? Not, well, Parrot, I guess, -2. And wow, Bickle hit double-digit shots and didn't score a goal. 10 shots on goal. Jorgensen and Zikov had 7 each as well. A lot of guys were shooting the puck in this game. A couple guys didn't have shots, which is surprising. Kalinin, Garatin, Hull, and Strachan, so our top 6 pairing, and 2 of our 4th liners. And Neal was really good. Kind of struggled at times, but was really good towards the end of it. Any good face-off numbers out of curiosity as well in this, because we're a good face-off team normally. Claxon was over 60%, which is good. Keith was below 60%, and same with Zikov, which is kind of surprising because both those guys usually win a lot. Interesting. 3 stars of game number 1. Rantanen, the first star for Nashville. Ratzlav, the second star because he faced so many shots, I guess. He had a .934 save percentage in that loss. And Zikov, the third star, with 1 goal, 1 assist, and 5 hits. So I guess he was pretty physical. Okay, so that was a really good opening playoff game. We have a 1-0 series lead. Can we take a 2-0 series lead on the Preds? I'm going to keep the lines the exact same because we got tons of shots in that last game. Hopefully we could get a lot of shots here in the second game as well and take a 2-0 series lead headed home. Come on, boys. First period of game number 2. Hey, let's go. We're up 2-0. Zikov and Festorini. There's too many Zikovs now. With these two Zikovs, it's kind of weird. But both goals were 53 seconds apart, so 2 quick ones on Ratslav. And we're out shooting badly again after one, but not as badly. 17-6 this time around. Last time it was 22-5, so yeah, we're still just completely outplaying them at this stage, it seems like, which is good. So a 2-0 lead after one. Can we add to that in the second period? Second period? Ooh, they bounce back with 2 of their own. That's not good. Kamel on the third line and Budai, their top defenseman. And we have a 2-2 game. So once again, we've blown a lead after the first period. Shots are 32-15 in favor of us. Why are we shooting the puck so much? I didn't even turn up the shooting frequency in this. This is outrageous. We have over 100 shots in the first 5 periods, or actually, I guess 6 periods of the series, which is kind of outrageous. So 2-2 game. We blew the 2-0 lead. Can we bounce back from that and get ourselves the lead here in the third? Let's see what happens. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Penalty kill early, and they score a power play goal. It's Tomasino. Not good. Not good at all. Power play again for them, and we managed to maybe kill this off. It's a long power play and another short-handed goal, and a goal to take the lead literally less than 10 seconds later, or well, 13 seconds later, actually. Jeez, 2 short-handed goals in back-to-back games and a natural hat-trick from Avery Parrott. What the heck is this? Parrott picks up a natural hat-trick and we win 5-3. Despite getting completely outplayed in that third period, looks like shot-wise, we win 5-3 and we have a 2-0 series lead. Clutch from Parrott. Holy crap. He gets a short-handed goal, so that's back-to-back games with a short-hand goal for this team in the playoffs, which is really crazy. And then Parrott scores another goal to give us the lead literally 13 seconds later. And then he gets a late goal before the empty net at 2:20. So we escape with a 5-3 victory because of Avery Parrott. And yeah, we got outshot 20-6 in that third period, but we had 3 goals from Parrott. So yeah, kind of weird. Faceoffs were in our favor badly, 57-41. So it looks like good stuff from Keith and Zikov probably. So Zikov from Claxon, Festorini from Zikov, Parrott from Moroza and Festorini, Parrott from Cox and Festorini, and Parrott from Keith and Jorgensen. Wow, that was quite the game. Festorini had 3 points as well in that one. Any badly minus players? Festorini was +4. Haricalo was a -2, but he's an OFD, so it kind of makes sense. And Parrott had 6 shots on goal, and he scored 3 goals. Pretty good. 6 hits from Keith led the way. Face-off win percentage, yeah, Zikov was dominant on the draw, 73%. And Keith was really good as well, 64.7%. Grattan on the fourth line was 50%. Claxon was below 50%, but there's usually at least one player that's always below 50%. And Neil had an okay game, I'd say. Considering he kept us in that third period, I definitely say he had a good game. 3 stars of game 2. Parrott the first star, of course, because he had that natural hat-trick in the third period. Talk about clutch. Festorini the second star, and Tomasino the third. Okay, so we win both games in Nashville. Can we win some games on the home ice as well? We definitely used that road record to our advantage there. We outscored them 9-6. Now it's all about winning on home ice. Can we give our fans something to cheer about in our own building and win our first ever home playoff game? That'd be great. Going to keep our lines the exact same because we've been shooting the puck a lot. We've been getting goals. Why stop now when we have a 2-0 series lead? So, first period of game 3. And it's 1-1. I'll take it. Shots are 16-9, so we're still badly out shooting them after the first period, it seems like. So, that's a good sign. Lepisto made it 1-0. Like I said, you can't rule out this guy because he's got that good shooting category. He's a low elite, and he's playing with Mitch Marner and Tomasino, so he scores. But then Zikov scores on the power play for us late. It is 1-1 after 1. And yeah, we're out shooting by 7 shots. Can we get the lead in the second period? Second period? 4-2 for us. Let's go. Let's go, Anchorage. Hartnell scores to make it 2-1, and Walzer scores, so that's a fourth liner coming through, so that's huge, to make it 3-1. Suzuki pulled them back within 1 goal, but then Cox scores, so that's a third liner scoring, so we're getting goals from every single line, which is really great to see. Shots are 29-22 in favor of us, so let's see what happens here in this third period, see if we can lock it down and be 1 game away from taking out the Preds. This might be our first ever home playoff win here if we could hold off the Preds, which we should be able to do. This team is looking pretty good so far. Don't know what they're going to do next round if we get there, because I'm not ruling out Nashville to reverse sweep us, because I have seen that happen before. And we are going to win this game 4-2. We outshot them 41-27. And your boys are 1 win away from the second round. Let's go. Zika from Jorgensen and Bickle, Hartnell from Harakala and Jorgensen, Walzer from Gradden and Hull, and Cox from Claxon. Nicely done, boys. Nicely done. Jorgensen had 2 points. Any badly minus players? Only a couple minus guys, and that is the second line, I think, in the top pairing. And yeah, Neil had a really strong game in that one with a 926 save percentage. I also want to take a look at the face-off numbers again quickly, because that might be helping us out. Yeah, Keith was above 60%. Grattan was 70%. That's impressive as a fourth liner. Zikov was above 50%, and our other center, Claxon, was way below 50%. So Claxon's having a little bit of a tough time, but that's okay. 3 stars in Game 3. Harry Neal, the first star. Let's go, Neal. Jorgensen, the second star, and Walzer, the third star. Pretty good. Okay, so we are 1 game away from winning this series. Can we do so? Obviously, this episode is going by kind of quick because we're kind of flying through these games, but this team's been performing really well, because we have scored 4 goals in our first 3 games of the series. Like, our offense is definitely doing way better than I expected. So we're outscoring them now by a score of 13-8, I think. So it's still been a pretty close series in terms of goals, but we've been outshooting them badly. We've been playing better defensive hockey. Our goaltender has been the better of the two as well. Let's see if we could sweep the Nashville Predators and get ourselves to that second round. Was not expecting us to be winning this many games out of the gates. So first period of Game 4, and look at that, we're already up 2-0. This team is looking really good. We're actually being outshot for a change after 1, which doesn't happen that often, it seems like. So Bickle and Zikov with our goals. The Zikov that scored was the defenseman, though. He's always the one with the Y, in case you guys don't remember who's who. So we are up 2-0 after 1 with 2 goals on 9 shots. Let's see if we can add to this in the second period. Second period, 3-1. Let's go. Harakala made it 3-0. Melanson will pull the Preds within 2 goals. We're being outshot still 30-20, but looks like Neil is having himself a good game again. Let's see if we can lock this down and win our first ever playoff series. I might jump in and watch us celebrate our first ever series win, because it might be fun to do that. Like, I'll probably not put like the game audio on, but I'll probably well, there will be game audio, but it'll be probably pretty quiet and I'll just talk over it. But just because I mean, our first ever playoff win, series win, is pretty monumental for this franchise. So let's see if we can lock this game down and take this series and get ourselves to the second round, which I don't know who we're facing, but it's going to be definitely a much tougher task, I'd say. Let's go down to 4 times, but it looks like we're going to win our first ever playoff series. And I want to see this win on home ice as well, just because I haven't seen our jerseys in action yet. So yeah, let's intervene and watch this. We'll watch it together. I'll commentate over top of it, just because why not. 90, 87, 78 is our ratings. That's pretty good. Good offensive ratings, good defensive ratings. Goaltender is obviously a little bit lower. But let's watch the last bit of this game with the Nashville Predators and see us hopefully clinch out the series. I don't normally jump into games, but this one is one of those type of games I would jump into. Okay, here we go. That's what our home arena looks like. Looks pretty cool. I actually really like the looks of our jerseys, these blue jerseys. It's kind of hard to read the text on the back, though. That's actually a problem I didn't realize. Yeah, it's hard to read the back of the jersey numbers, but that's okay, because at least we got the indicators on the bottom. Coley Mining kicks it back to Bickle. He's wearing our A. Looks like he's the assistant captain. He finds it to Coley Mining. Over to Festerini, who spins. Okay, I don't know why Festerini did that, but whatever. Any way to kill off time. Looks like he drew a power play, which is good. So we're going to get to see our power play in action in this final 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Svechnikov taking a slashing penalty. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Let's see what this power play could do. Yeah, that's definitely a slash there. Okay, oh, look at this. Jorgensen's up there in point leads. There's the highest scoring players, I guess, at this stage. Interesting. That's a cool graphic to see. Parrott wins it back on the power play. Here's Coley Mine and driving to the net, and Ratzlaff's going to take that. Budai gets to the foodie. It looks like Nashville still wants to go for a short-handed goal, obviously, because they want to get back into this game, but they threw it out of play. Okay. Oh, yeah, I like these graphics a lot. Keith is up there in hits. Wow. Yeah, Derek Keith does everything for this team. He might be a future captain at some point. Like, he wins face-offs, he throws hits. He's a pretty good player. He's almost like Jorgensen, or not Jorgensen, Jaskalainen, it seems like already at this stage. Like, he might win the Selke this year, which would be pretty awesome. Marner intercepts, and then I find Michael Misa. They might pull their goalie soon. Good shutdown play there by, I think that was Coley Minen again. No, that was Bickle. Wow, Bickle on the back check. That's pretty good. Parrott with it over to Jorgensen, the captain of this team. Yep, he's the captain. That's good to see. This is taking forever because we're on the power play now. It's like almost real time, but that's okay. Wow, they just threw it out of play again. I was like in the exact same spot as they did last time. At least this will add a little bit more time to this episode as well, so you guys can kind of see the boys in action for a change, and we'll probably like look at what the jerseys look like in the instant replay mode afterwards as well, because I want to kind of see what they look like on ice. Bickle finds Zikov. The guy lost his helmet. That's good. He has to go off on a change. Oh, we got a 2-on-1 here. Jorgensen. Oh, Ratzlaff to save. I guess the guy we hit was a defenseman, so it gave us an odd man rush. That's pretty nice. Our power play is 0% in this game, it says, but I don't know if that's accurate or not. I don't remember if we scored a power play goal in this game. I don't think so. Face-off win by Parrott. Zikov throws it to the net. Parrott picks up the rebound and scores. He's got 4 goals in 4 games. Obviously the hat-trick in that one game, but still. Parrott picks up the rebound, and that will ice this game in the series. Nice to see our team actually get a goal in the sim. That Parrott moves all the way up, and he's now up there with Ulf Magnusson of the Buffalo Sabres, which is that franchise guy. So Parrott gets the goal from Zikov, picking up that rebound off the goalie. And yeah, that should give us the series win easily. Tolvin into Misa, and Nashville's now trying to get some pressure back, but obviously it's kind of late to do that. Keith with it, he's just going to kill some time. And he's going to strip the puck back. Look at Keith go. He gets creamed though. And, okay, well, it looks like we took a penalty here in the final minute, but that's okay. And it's going to go against our captain and Jorgensen. I don't know what he did. Oh, he was a tripping penalty. Don't know who he tripped. I didn't really see it in action. Okay, there you go. Yeah, that makes sense. That's definitely a penalty. Okay, let's kill this one off, boys. Show off our special teams a little bit in this game. And we lose the face-off. Foodie throws it to Fabro. A big block, and Harikala is going to take it and clear it. Nicely done, Harikala. Don't know why we have him on the penalty kill considering he's an OFD, but whatever. Foodie gets poked by Parrott short-handed. Nicely done, Parrott. Yeah, I like the way our guys are playing in this game. I don't know if they play like this in the sim engine, but still. Looking pretty good here in his final 5 minutes. We're like shutting down a lot of things. We're playing right on the body, and Festerini clears it. Nicely done. I mean, Nashville's not that great of a team. They're top 6 heavy, but yeah, next round's going to be interesting to see what we could do against whoever we play. And there we have it. We are off to the second round for the first time in franchise history with a sweep over the Nashville Predators. Let's go. There's the boys celebrating their first ever playoff win. Or playoff series win, I should say. Now the question is who we face in round 2, and if that is a tough team, if we could play this good against them as well. There you go. Jorgensen leads the handshake line. Don't know who's behind him, but still. We're going to still learn faces from this team, I guess. So there you go, our first ever playoff series win. Nice. Okay, let's skip through this because I don't need to see the replays on all that type of thing. Third star of the game going to Keith with 2 assists and 4 hits. Nice to see that. Yeah, he looks like he's definitely captain material at some point. Zikov's the second star with a goal and assist. Obviously gets the assist on that goal from Parrott. Boom. I don't know if he intentionally tried to bank it off his pads or whatnot to Parrott, but still. And then Neal gets first star. Yeah, Neal's been picking it up as of late too, which is really great. Okay, let's take a look at these player stats from this game. Couple guys with 2 points, couple guys with 1 point. How good was our face-off numbers? Grattan was above 50%. Zikov was as well. Keith was exactly 50%, which is kind of weird. Claxton was still struggling on the draw. So Claxton's the only one that seems to be struggling in the playoffs in terms of face-offs. Let me take a quick look at what these jerseys look like on ice, just so we could kind of get something to look at. So this is Parrott, I believe. Ooh, man, those actually look pretty sick on ice. Yeah, that looks actually really sick. Let's take a look at the back of this. Yeah, that's Parrott. Yeah, those look really cool. I don't know why this thing keeps on trying to scroll up. Let me see, who's this? Yeah, these jerseys look really clean. I think my controller might be kind of like almost broken because it keeps on trying to scroll up for some reason. Yeah, see, it's doing that on its own. It's weird. Oh well, that's Vestorini. So Vestorini is the guy that doesn't have a lot of hair. Who is this? Zikov. So there's the defenseman Zikov. And then we also have who on the ice? Looks like Harakala still. Yeah, that's Harakala. He's got some pretty sick skates. Yeah, I really like the way those jerseys look. Not as good as my sharpshooters jerseys, I think, but still, I do really like those ones. Okay, so we win our first ever playoff series via sweep. Let's take a look at our player stats throughout the first round, and we'll sim up to the second round to take a look at who we are facing, which should be interesting. Okay, player stats in round 1. Zikov, 6 points in 4 games, pretty damn good. Probably pretty good face-off numbers. Yep, 57% from him on the draw. Parrott was 64.5. I mean, he only plays on the power play center, but 4 goals in 4 games. Claxton, 4 assists in 4 games. Pretty good for a third liner. Keith also had 4 assists in 4 games. So a lot of guys that were point per game. Hartnell and Grattan 1 point each. Vestorini was over a point per game. Bickle was just under point per game. Cox and Hull were under point per game. But still, at least everybody on the team looks like they contributed, which is great. Jorgensen had 6 points, which is really good. From our captain, Walzer had 1 goal. Defensively, Zikov 3 points, Harakala 3 points, Moroza 1 point, and nobody else had any points on the defensive core, but they were great in terms of plus minus. And yeah, Neal was fantastic in that first round. 4-0 with a 932 and a 2.22 goals against average. And it should be interesting to see what he could do in the second round. I feel like this team is probably going to end up losing in the second round just because of how good we performed in that first round, but never know. Never know. It just depends on who we're facing. Let me take a look at this because I am curious on our goals for per game and stuff like that in that first round. 4.25 goals for per game, really good. 2.25 goals against per game, which is really good. Power play, it looks like it kind of struggled, unfortunately. And our penalty kill was really good, so interesting. So our power play is the only thing that needs to start getting going a little bit more. Let's see who we're facing in round 2. And we'll take a look at their lines, and then that'll be it for this episode. I'll also do probably a comparison between the two of us in the playoffs and how our numbers are. We are going to be taking on the Winnipeg Jets. Interesting. We got home ice advantage in this series. That's kind of interesting. So maybe it might be an easier team. But who knows? They went 40, 33, and 9. So they just barely made it into the playoffs. But we got home ice advantage. Let's take a look actually at how they did in the playoffs so far by comparison to us. And then we'll take a look at their lineup. Actually, I didn't want to go to player stats, goddammit. But I am curious on what they're doing good at right now in these playoffs. Let's just go to Western Conference and make it a little bit easier. Okay, so they won their first round in 7 games. They were scoring only 2.43 goals per game. They actually scored less than they allowed in that first round, but they won the series, so that's kind of weird. So we're much better offensively. We're much better defensively. They did not score a single power play goal, so we're much better on the power play, and our penalty kill is better. So we're technically better at everything, but that kind of scares me in a sense because when you're usually better at everything, then you end up losing somehow. But let's take a look at their roster because we do not know anything about their roster because we've never played them, obviously, before in the playoffs. First line, Kyle Connor. Still really good. Matty Nieminen. Oh, that's the guy that was, 5th overall pick just last year. Interesting. I could have drafted this guy, but I didn't. And Yuri Svitov, who they got in the first-year draft. Or actually, yeah, first-year draft. Yeah. So there's their first line. That's actually a pretty solid top line, and it looks like the main cause of their offense. Second line has Capo Caco, who's doing decent, but no goals. Tim Stützle is there, too. And they also have Nick Ehlers. Okay, so their top six is really good. Third line has Tyler Boucher. It's not doing much. Cole Perfetti, who's been doing pretty decent for a third liner. And Martin Kaut, who hasn't really done that much. So the third line's actually pretty good overall-wise as well. And a fourth line of Justice McDermott, who's actually doing really well as a fourth liner. Colby Barlow and Oscar Telquist. That's actually a pretty good forward core. Way better than it looks, actually, in terms of how they simulated. So I'm kind of scared about that. Defensively, they have Nick Hague and Emil Viro. Nick Megalosh and Travis Dermott. Silas Seadu, giving me flashbacks of Sam Seadu with the Houston Sharpshooters. And Josh Morrissey. That defensive core could definitely use some work. A lot of top six defenders, but at least it is a respectable core, I guess. They also have Vitek Vanacek, who's been really good so far at the 920 save percentage, and Elias Chichu is their backup. Did he have 56 wins? No, he did not. I was going to say that would be pretty funny. Jack Drury, Yusuf Valimaki, and Jamie Alexiak are the depth options. Surprised that Alexiak's still playing at 38, but there is their team. I don't really know what to make of their team. How were they in the regular season as well? Because I did take a look at their playoff numbers, but I am curious on what their regular season was like. Let's go to Western Conference again. Just do a little comparison again. Oh yeah, they were the team that was way down here at 89 points. They were scoring more goals than us in the regular season, so we definitely got to keep an eye out for that offense. They were a worse defensive team, though, which makes sense based on what we saw. Our power play was a little bit better, and our penalty kill was a little bit better. They scored 5 short-handed goals this year, and they were around even on home ice and on the road, so there is that. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Anchorage Ice Tigers Draft to Glory franchise mode. So in next episode, we will take it to the second round of playoffs as we take on the Winnipeg Jets and look to somehow get to the conference finals in our first ever playoff run. So guys, think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.